Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Liverpool Latest. Probably the most unfiltered Liverpool related show on YouTube right now. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like down below, comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe if you want to see more to never miss an upload because we post nearly every day here on the channel. I have a few things to talk about today, but let's start with putting to putting to bed this Mark Gahey thing. There's just so many things that keep popping up about it, but it just makes me upset. The more that I see news and the more I see conversation about it, the more annoyed I get about the situation. But the one thing I saw, which is surprising, and I guess it was maybe misconstrued by the internet, and I fell for it, was the amount of money City actually paid for him. I mean, yeah, maybe 20 million was the buyout fee, but I did not realize just how much money he was getting in addition. So I'm thinking to myself, 20 million is a lot of money for you know, however long they signed him for. I don't know. Apparently it was a 5.5 year commitment. The more I think about it, the more I'm saying to myself, the math isn't really mathing all that well. 20 million, 200, 20 million's a lot, and it's reported that he's earning about 300K a week, which is disputed, but it's around that figure. So it seems like they paid a lot more Manchester City than originally thought, and which, I mean, if that is the case, maybe from a price point perspective, we kind of lucked out, but I still think it was a bad choice not to sign him, mostly because of how little depth we have at center back. Gahey himself viewed it more as like a market opportunity and not necessarily like a cornerstone signing for him. I don't know if he's referencing Liverpool or if he's referencing City, but it seems like it was an opportunity for him to make a lot of money, and if I was him, I would take the exact same deal. Listen, there was no concrete thing going on between him and Liverpool. The fact that we waited until the last minute at the summer transfer window, that would have sent enough to be like, hey, you were on our radar, but you weren't enough a priority because we had all this other money we wanted to spend. Now, clearly, City's economics have changed, and their strategy for the season is changing, and it seems like ours is staying the same. It doesn't seem like Liverpool is doing much to pivot philosophically, because we have made little to no signings, except signings that are more for the future. Problem is, right now, it's just not good. We still don't know about Konate. We don't know about Van Dijk, what's going on there. Gomez is still someone that is, I like him, but he's unreliable. Giovanni Leone, though, is apparently training again, which is fantastic news. So hopefully next year we see him in a Liverpool shirt and he has a proper season, because we desperately need someone the likes of him on the team for sure. The worst part about it all, to me, which still annoys me in the naivety of it all, is that Liverpool assumed Mark Gahey would wait. And if Mark Gahey really wanted to wait, he would have never have signed the deal with City. But clearly, Liverpool had no intention on signing him in the January window. Gahey clearly wanted out of Crystal Palace. The rest is history from there. And it hurts me because, it makes sense for City, though, because they had the money and they had the urgency because they've had some injuries. And that assumption that Gahey wanted Liverpool the whole time basically blew that whole facade apart. Whether he actually did want it or not, we still have no concrete idea. But and perhaps we may never know because the deal is now done. And now we have to worry about facing Gahey in a few weeks' time for a Man City match. So it just makes me upset because we are about this for when we needed to make a signing, we decided to not make any sort of major deal happen. It's now the 20th of January, and there is not one big money deal I could come here and say to you that we have made at center back at any position. There's been talks, but there hasn't been, and there's been rumors, but there hasn't been news. At this point, I have no hope for the Nico Schlotterbeck deal to go through, because if they would have signed somebody, they would have done it day one. They had Gahey as an option. They have Schlotterbeck as an option. Van der Ven is apparently still an option from what I've read recently. So whether or not they're going to make any moves, I have no idea. I would hope that that would be the case, because I obviously want to provide you guys with some quality transfer rumors, but all the big names seem to be getting taken away slowly but surely. And again, 11 days left from the point of me recording this. There's not going to be, I don't have a whole lot of hope whatsoever, because if there was going to be any deals made at all, they would have been done already. Speaking of deals, something I'm actually quite surprised about. Do you remember a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago, I had discussed that Dominik Szoboszlai was rumored to have signed a new agreement with Liverpool? I waited for a while to see if news of that was true, because obviously they would have him signing the contract and the post of that would be viral and all the Liverpool fans would rejoice, including myself. That said, it still hasn't happened. So it begged the question, is it real or not? Well, it seems like Szoboszlai himself has spoken very plainly on the matter, and has said that there have been contract extensions that have taken place, but there has been no agreement that has been formally signed. Which is good, because it puts that rumor to bed. At the same time, I kind of want this to be over and done with, because if you ask me, Dominik Szoboszlai needs to get signed before Van Dijk leaves, if he ever leaves at all, but I'm assuming he's going to be leaving at the end of this contract. I think they should extend him, make him captain sooner rather than later, but why rush a good thing, I guess. But obviously, there's also a couple of renewals that we have to worry about. You know, who knows if we sign Salah again at the end of his contract. There's a couple of other contracts that they've been discussing that I've talked about. Gravenberch still is also someone that they needed to sign for a new deal, reportedly. They just don't know who's going to get paid yet. Until they know who's going to get paid, we won't know for sure about what's going on with Szoboszlai. The good news is that he himself wants Liverpool, and he definitely wants to stay, which is good, because it shows that he is loyal to the club. There was also a couple of quotes I saw here. I mean, what really worries me most of all is that there's no urgency to sign him whatsoever. But it's just nice to know that there is progress, just no decision that is being named. He did mention something about the media, though, I believe, in this article. I could have sworn I saw something. Excuse me. We're doing this live, baby. Fuck it. Well, either way, we are, yeah. Either way, I think he did mention something about the fact of, the media is always going to run with stories, and, they see what happens, and they tell people things and that are not true. Either way, still good news that there are talks being placed. Not entirely happy about the fact that no deal seems to be getting done yet because of whatever financial bullshit they're spewing about it, but who knows? I would rather prefer Dominik Szoboszlai to sign, hopefully at the end of this season, if I was to put a timetable on it, despite his mistakes, especially with Barnsley, because that was just a very, very bad mistake on Szoboszlai's part. I'd be content to keep him. He's easily been our best player. He's been one of our best guys, especially in the Champions League, because he has not missed a single minute, which I will talk about in a couple of minutes here. But yeah, definitely been one of our cornerstone guys this season, and someone that I definitely would like to see the team built around as far as his skill level goes, for sure. So we gotta get this going here. We've already fucked up one signing this year. Let's at least get something done before the end of the season going into the summer. Speaking of making moves, the women's team continues to make moves, which I am insanely impressed about. I'm actually shocked. This is like the fourth or fifth name I've seen signed in this transfer window. Again, shows that they are willing to try and continue to compete, and they are not going to lay down and die like the men's team has been doing as far as performances on the field. This time, they signed, and I'm going to butcher the shit out of this, so I apologize. It's a Swiss name. Aurelie Sislag, or Sislag. It's... Oh, man. What is with them trying to sign? Oh, man. They're really trying to sign a lot of Scandinavian or Central European-esque names here because, whew, it's getting difficult, more and more difficult to pronounce these names as these signings keep going on. She is a Swiss international with 12 senior caps and arrives obviously midway through the season. She scored 14 goals and 4 goals and 14 appearances for Freiburg in the Frauen Bundesliga in this current season. So I guess she is coming from the Bundesliga Women's League, which I actually did not know was the thing. That is interesting. Primary forward, often she offers pace, movement, and versatility across the front line, which is something that Liverpool women's team needs desperately. She developed through Zurich and then played in Basel before moving to Germany. She scored her first international goal in a friendly match against Wales. So you might want to ask yourself, why does this matter for the women's team? Obviously, like I said, reinforces their attack because Olsen was doing most of the heavy lifting. They've signed quite a few names since then, so it puts a lot less pressure on her. Probably gives her a rest. I mean, the woman's been putting the team on her back trying to score as many goals as she can, and God bless her for sure. Definitely top league experience, top league experience, excuse me, enunciation is hard sometimes, given the fact that she is from Germany and that international exposure. And continues that, well, of course, she is praising the AXA facilities, or AXA facilities, which have been very important when it comes to developing players and keeping them fit and healthy. And the good news is she's only 23. You know, she fits the profile and has an immediate impact and potential upside. So a lot of young players that are getting signed here to the Liverpool women's team, which I like a lot. Shows very good upward mobility, and that we want to definitely stay competitive in the WSL, which is fan-freaking-tastic. As far as trying to make our way through the Champions League, tomorrow we play Marseille, or Marseille. I think I originally been calling it Marseille because it reads like Versailles, the palace, but apparently it is Marseille, and it looks to me that Virgil van Dijk would be the 50th player in Liverpool history to reach 50 European appearances if he plays, which he probably will. He and Szoboszlai have played every minute of the Champions League so far, which gives a big indicator to what Arne Slot's potential starting 11 is going to look like. A little bit of history about our time at Marseille. The last visit was in 2008, and we won 2-1. Of course, the great Steven Gerrard scored both of those goals. Season before that, 2007, which I just saw Liverpool social media post recently, we had a 4-0 clean sheet win away as well, which was, I watched those goals. Those were, watching Premier League football in the mid 2000s, later 2000s, is really interesting. It's almost like it's not even the same type of game. It's like the game has progressed, and sports in general have progressed so much that it's almost like I'm watching ancient history. The way the players move, the way they kick, the way the kits look, and everything. I don't know if it's just me, but as a newer fan, I look at the level of athleticism I see today on the pitch, and I watch back at these older games, and I say to myself, God, this is how the game was played back then. It just feels like so. I don't know if it's slow or so awkward looking. I don't know how to describe it. Someone help me out with that in the comments who's been watching football longer than I have. Because it's just something I've been thinking about as I've been watching a lot of these older highlights when I see them posted. And I'm like, man, game looks so different back then. So let's talk about what happens with our qualification, though. We have an opportunity to make it to the knockout playoffs if we at least draw in this game. A win will actually put us firmly on track to the top 8 qualification, and we avoid playing in an extra round. Now, naturally, given our recent history at Marseille, I would hope we would win. But I don't feel like we're going to, and if we do win, it's going to be very, very ugly, as all of our other wins, whenever we get them, have been. So, I really... I don't want to say we're going to lose. But we at least, at the very least, I don't care if we draw. This is one of those games where it's like, I want us to move on to the knockout stages of the Champions League to at least be competitive in that. The last thing I want to see is us lose to Marseille and then get knocked out. I've been reading news, by the way, which I can't confirm because it's everywhere and everybody's talking about it, so who knows what's true and what's not. That if Liverpool suffer a defeat against Marseille, there might be a chance Arne Slot gets sacked. Now, there's pros and cons to this, naturally. I would rather us continue our Champions League campaign, but if the rumor of Slot being fired if they lose this game, I mean, it's like a Pyrrhic victory, but I'm not going to be too mad at that one because at least we wouldn't have to worry about it too much longer, and we have the opportunity to sign Xabi Alonso, so we'll have to find out what happens there. But yeah, we're definitely going to be needing a very offensive-heavy game. Our defense definitely needs to stand firm. The problem is Marseille at home is a very big test because they have only 3 defeats in their last 22 European home games. They've won against, in this campaign anyway, Newcastle 2-1 and Union SG 3-2 away. So they are definitely in a position to win this game if they choose to, and we definitely have to pick up the pace here. Also, kind of worried about Curtis Jones. Apparently, if he has 1 booking away from a suspension, so if he gets a yellow here, he'll miss the game at against. Oh God, I'm gonna butcher this. Karabag at Anfield. So I'm hoping he doesn't get a yellow. Hopefully there's some discipline there because we're already kind of slim with options as is. So we're going to hopefully keep it. Let's keep it clean there, Jones. But what happens? I don't know. I'm seeing anyone who's saying that the game is going to, anyone who's talking about this game is saying Marseille is going to win this by a slim margin. One of them I saw, Stephen Smith, his score prediction was 3-2. I'm hoping we at least get a 2-1 victory. And if we don't, a 2-2 draw or a 1-1 draw will certainly not make me upset. But I just want to move on to the knockout stage. I don't know what happens if a loss happens here. I don't know what that does for us in our next Champions League match. So, to ease everyone's minds, I would hope that they would win. But we're going to have to find out. Let's ask ourselves what the predicted lineup will be. This particular lineup I saw and I somewhat agree with is in the 4-3-3 formation, which is my personal go-to, as I've been talking about. Of course, Becker at goalkeeper, that should be without saying. Frimpong, right back, absolutely. Konate and Van Dijk, who else is going to take that position? Nobody. Kirkes, who's been very good. Put him at left back for me. Start Curtis Jones. McAllister, throw him in there too. Ryan Gravenberch as well. Dominik Szoboszlai, because he's played every single match, so it would be a disservice to him not to play this game. I definitely think Ekitike should be the center forward, and the left wing will certainly be Florian Wirtz, because he's just been absolutely on fire. You can't deny that whatsoever. Guy's got to be a part of the creating of the offense as well as attacking at the same time. So it would be stupid not to start him, frankly. So that is my Liverpool latest today. A lot to talk about, a lot of speculation. Hopefully we have some answers. I will see you guys tomorrow with my thoughts post-match on Marseille and what happens for us going forward, whether it's a win or a loss. Again, do we want us to lose in hopes that Baldy gets fired? We'll have to find out. But thanks again for stopping by. Leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to never miss an upload. And remember, as long as you are a part of the Liverpool Latest family, you, my friend, will never walk alone.